Discord and GroupMe, those two. I've had to silence notifications because I'm like, no, stop it. I don't want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of only emergencies. Finally, the not urgent, not important, waste and excess, trivia, busy work, irrelevant stuff, time wasters, escape activities, excess TV, internet, and recreation. Keep in mind, recreation is important. The seventh habit is sharpening the saw. And that's really doing things that feed your soul, that help you as a human being. So if something like hiking at Red Rock Canyon helps you be clear the rest of the week, you got to make sure you're hiking at Red Rock Canyon. Take lots of water and do it early in the morning, right? But if those are things that feed your soul and help you stay focused for all the work to be done, we got to be doing them. Those are not the category of waste and excess. Waste and excess is, I worked with a guy who was the IT help desk guy for a major resort. So guests were calling him and employees were calling him. His entire job for 10 hours a day was quadrant 1. When he got home, all he did was play video games. I'll tell you from experience, that ended in divorce. Okay, so it's figuring out, how do I spend less time in 4 and make sure I'm feeding my soul? So calendar versus to-do list. To-do lists are things that don't have to happen at a specific time. Okay? Calendar items do have to happen at a specific time. How many of you have had to psycho voodoo yourselves because there's something that you need to get done, but you don't like doing it? Anybody? Okay, so here's how I psycho voodoo myself. I absolutely hate this activity, so it has to go on my calendar. If it's things like going to the gym, because I know it's good for me, I'll put that on my calendar for before I need to be at my smartest. So I'll go to the gym. I no longer get up at 4, by the way. I'll go to the gym at 5 so that I am using my brain power by 6:30. That's how I psycho voodoo myself to get to the gym. If there's something that you don't care to do, put it on your calendar and don't allow yourself to move it to the next day. We already said plan weekly, daily, monthly, and you've got to sleep. How many of you have pulled all-nighters to study for things? Okay. You need to sleep. What you've been studying does not have time to get into your long-term memory if you're not sleeping. Here's another key to harnessing your power. When I was in graduate school, again, I don't recommend it with a 2-year-old, I would have a 10-page paper due every week. It's in quadrant 2 for most of the week until Friday when it's due on Saturday, right? And then it's in quadrant 1. So I would spend the first part of my week gathering the information that I was going to use in the paper. First few days of the week. And then I highly recommend, before you go to sleep, you read through all the important information. When you wake up, you read through all the important information. Because your problem-solving machine will write papers for you if you feed it the information that it needs to have. So I seriously would wake up on Friday morning, reread the things, and then in an hour, write the paper that I was preparing earlier in the week. So now, I don't have problems sleeping. In fact, I probably am an award-winning sleeper. If you're somebody that struggles with sleep, this might not be the ideal plan for you. But you do have to sleep because that's how short-term memory becomes long-term memory. It's also how we rebuild, right? So you have to sleep to get the most out of yourself. Your to-do list, I move things forward on my to-do list. So I'll have a to-do list, things that don't have to happen at a specific time. If it's nice to get it done today but doesn't have to be done today, I'll give it a B or a C on my list. Things that have to be done today get a letter A. So when I look at my to-do list tonight, I'll move things forward to tomorrow. The B's and C's will get moved forward to tomorrow. Has anybody seen the Remarkable tablet? I should have brought mine to show and tell you. It is technology that's not smart technology. It's like writing paper. So I also created, because I'm a dork, I created a template that I use for my to-do lists that I also can keep notes on, and I can just change the date, which really helps me move things forward to tomorrow, because now I can just go in, change the date. I can still mark things off, so I get the endorphins of marking things off. I can also, when I accidentally mark things off, I can rewrite them, right? So it's like having reusable paper, and I love it. It also, from a notes perspective, I take a ton of notes on it, and then I can upload those notes. It's a little janky for the turning your handwriting into typed, but I don't use it for that because it takes too long and I have impatience. But I do find that it helps me to trap all the things I need to be able to find in one location. So, however you keep your to-do list, on your phone or on paper, just make sure you're staying on top of it. I did mention already habit 7, which is sharpening the saw, or as I like to call it, soul feeding. If you're somebody that needs to have art around you, or you need to have something that keeps you grounded, you got to work that into your schedule. You'll have all the things, right, for school and all the things that you want to do. Make sure that one of the big rocks is also taking care of yourself. What are some of the things that you do for stress release? Please share. Beautiful. For long-term resilience, from a hospitality perspective, there's great research out there on emotion regulation and emotional labor, which can lead to burnout, the exhaustion of peopling. The research tells us that mindfulness, meditation, and yoga are the best ways to build resilience from too much peopling. And then I would take that a step further with anything that's physical. Where are my runners? Any runners? Okay, notice I'm holding up my hand completely by accident. Many Native American cultures run because it is a communing with nature and with ourselves, because it is moving meditation. I hear when you hit flow, it's like meditation. I wouldn't know because I'm too busy being in pain. So running, anything at the gym, anything that's physical, going for a walk. These are things that help us to build resilience. And if you just happen to love those things, they're also soul feeding. Stress and keeping up, the key, as I see it, is making sure that you're taking care of the goose, right? You can't lay the golden eggs if you're not taking care of the goose. In this scenario, you're the goose, okay? And of course, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Alice in Wonderland, I'm sure you've all heard that fabulous quote. One of the things that I hope that we help you with here is helping you really solidify your goals, your purpose, where you want to be. And then you can surround yourself with the people that can help you get there.